Hello and welcome to the second episode of my Anthony Scouts channel, where I'll be discussing all things football. I know we've just had the international break, and not a lot of people can argue, oh yeah, what's there to talk about? Nothing much has happened. We don't like the international break. We want the Premier League back. And to be honest, I agree. For me personally, I love having the Premier League, the quick turnaround of games every week. You know, analyzing and talking about talking about the big players, the big teams, the big games. Um, and yeah, even after just three games, we've already got an international break when there was just the Euros a couple of months ago. Why do we need more internationals? But again, such is the nature of football, such is the nature of the football calendar, the excruciating nature of the football calendar. More games, or even more useless games. Yeah, they've just made the UEFA Nations League to improve the quality of friendlies per se. But international it just spoils the rhythm of Premier League football, man. But yeah, you know, to be honest, there is a lot to discuss and um, from the international break. Again, we've just seen England under new management in Lee Carsley, who uh, who I'm relatively impressed by, if I must say. In my opinion, I do think he's the ideal candidate to succeed Southgate. Um, his talent ID is there. Even just bringing up Angel Gomes to the squad, just impressive. Morgan Gibbs White, Noni Madueke, all those guys, man. I thought, yeah, that was bold, that was brave. He's going against the grain. He's not doing what Southgate would do. He's not doing what Southgate would, pick. Yeah, Southgate was good for what it was 8 years, 8 years of success. Even without lifting a trophy, we took the team forward, but just didn't have that last ingredient, that telling ingredient to take us over the line, which is a shame, really. Again, it was the case against Spain. Um, we had the quality on the pitch, but the tactics wasn't there. Um, we didn't have that X factor to topple Spain, and again, that's what fans wanted to see that's what fans want to see from this England team. Can we beat the top teams consistently? And I guess the new manager, whoever's appointed, Lee Carsley, I think that needs to be their bread and butter. Matching it against the likes of Spain, in the top tournaments, Germany, Holland, and all them big teams, beating them, matching them tactically. We need to be on that level. Southgate, Southgate's um tenure ran its course, which is a shame. Because honestly, I did not see him taking England this how far he did. You know, the semi-finals, two finals, unbelievable, unbelievable. You know, again, the journey he took us on. Being close with the team. When there's so much friction, so much division, so much clicks and all that stuff in under previous management. RIP to Sven Goran, by the way. Sad news about that. But yeah, you know, um, yeah, Southgate, brought the whole nation together in three tournaments. You know what I mean? Which was, something I never thought could happen again. But yeah, again, as I've said, what is needed to take this this team over the line, because we've got the players now to do it. But now we just need a tactician, someone that can drag those, bring, drag those players over the line, with his instructions. And unfortunately, Southgate couldn't do that. As we saw in the final, especially when Palmer scored the goal, that was our chance to take control of the game. when Rodri was came off the pitch, that was our chance. But again, Spain's talent ID, you know, Luis De La Fuente, brilliant coaching what he done. Trusted Zubimendi to take Rodri's role, and that he did. Quality player Zubimendi is, as I spoke about in the last episode. How I thought he would have been a perfect for Liverpool, someone that comes in and just takes the game by the scruff of the neck. Especially when England thought they grabbed the momentum back from Spain. Zubimendi came in, took control, you know, controlled proceedings, and that gave Spain confidence to go on and win it again. That's what England need. Yeah, we got the Declan Rices and Kobe Menus and all that stuff, but we need someone that can come in and even if it's just intricate small passes, someone that can just take the sting out of things, take the sting out of attacks, take the sting out of the opponent's momentum. Um, and I believe we've got a player like that in Angel Gomes. I thought was a brave and bold call by Lee Carsley, but the right one to call up Angel Gomes. Um, Unbelievable player. In my opinion, so nimble, so intricate. The way he takes the ball, the way once he passes the ball, he moves into space to receive the next pass. Once he passes the ball, he always knows what he's going to do next before he even receives the pass. The way he progresses it. You know, just what England need to take that next step. And I feel he needs. He should be a permanent fixture in the team. For me in that midfield, that's a talent we need. That's a Zubimendi, that's a Gundogan, someone that can take the sting out of game, someone that can control the game, someone that can when England needs to slow it down, he slows it down. When England need to grab momentum, when England's just like what happened in the final when Palmer scored, someone that can allow England to control it, allow England to stifle Spain in terms of keeping the ball. That's Angel Gomes. That's a player we need, and we saw that in against Finland, even against Ireland. Yeah, two teams who we should be beating on any given day. But again, you got to beat what's in front of you. And I thought performances over those two games were impressive. I thought to myself, this is this. It may not be Lee Carsley's defining 2 games to give him the job, but he did do enough. If those 2 games were were his interview, or I do feel he did do enough. Even the bold selections he made. Bringing back Harry Maguire, bringing back Jack Grealish, who didn't have the best of seasons last season, but came in and completely destroyed Ireland. In that number 8 role, I thought he was brilliant. That's the Jack Grealish of old. The Jack Grealish I loved back then at Aston Villa. That player that just took the ball and just went about his business. No fuss, no rules or regulations that holding them down, no tactical limitations holding them down. That's the Grealish we want to see. That at that 8, that 8 role, taking the ball on, dribbling past players, creating space for others, threading through balls and all that stuff. I thought he was brilliant in that Ireland game. And again, if that's where Carsley sees him long term, it'll be interesting to see, because we've got so many players who can use. You can arguably play that role on par with Grealish and better. Bellingham and Foden weren't in the team. Palmer can play that role. You got Eze, who he's been playing off the left, but he can play that 8 role. There's so many players that can that can perform that role. But Jack Grealish really sent a message to everyone. To be honest, everyone's been doubting him since his £100 million move to City. But that performance alone just showed how how good Grealish is. That's the Grealish of old, the Grealish you saw at Aston Villa. No fear, no fear in his game. And did he send a message out to Guardiola? Put me at number 8, especially when if De Bruyne is on the wane. Why not message to Guardiola? Put Grealish at 8. Well, who am I to tell Guardiola what to do? But it's a thought. I thought it was terrific in those 2 games. Again, Angel Gomes, Trent was brilliant. I thought Trent was brilliant. Again, at right back, we need to be seeing Trent as the permanent fixture at right back, even if he's inverting, even if he's whatever. Just give him the ball and let him do what he does best, threading the through balls in, putting them telling crosses in the box. Just give him the license to roam, give him the license to express himself, and you'll see the best of Trent. Just as we've seen already in a Liverpool shot under Arne Slot at Anfield. That's what needs to be done. Again, I Southgate, I don't know why he was hell bent on starting Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker's been good for what he's provided the team, but we need to move on now. So much talent out there at right back. Trent, hopefully Reece James can overcome his injury issues, but I've been saying that for years now, and still the same issues. But those are 2 of the best right backs in the world. Those are two players that we should be relying on in that position for the foreseeable future. But even Carsley even called up Tino Livramento, who I think is an excellent talent. Right, I do think he's got a huge future at Newcastle, huge future in the game. Even if you can secure that right back spot, make it his own like Trippier did when he moved from Atletico, and if Tilo Livramento can make that spot his own, why not challenge Trent and all that stuff for a right back spot? But again, so much talent in that position for England, and I think that's the problem Lee Carsley we need to solve if he is the England manager. How am I going to mix and mesh these talents that these weapons that I have at my disposal? I think Southgate did that to the best of his ability, but he just couldn't take it to that next step. And I think that's what the next England manager needs to do. One other candidate who I thought was a top candidate for the job if Lee Carsley doesn't get is Thomas Tuchel. Maybe he would have he would have been that manager to take us over the line. He's done it before. You saw what he did against for Chelsea against in the Champions League against when they beat Real Madrid, when they beat City. In those one-off games, Tuchel has the ingredients to beat teams where you don't expect to get a result. And if England were to look in Tuchel's way, why not? But yeah, for me, I think sticking with Carsley, giving him the job, I think would be a good decision. I do think he's got the talent ID. I do think he's got the tactical nous. I do think he's got the character and the mentality to thrive in a role. And again, he said himself that if he was given the job, he would give it his all. But the thing is, again, the question is, can he take England over the line? Well, with what we've seen so far, with the talents he's picked up for the squad, and his tactical nous, he could. But yeah, we do in order for that to come to fruition, we do need to see England in the top against the top teams. So that may not happen for a while because we're in League B in the Nations League, so we're not going to be playing against the Spains and the Germanys, the Hollands and the Frances. But yeah, hopefully further down the line, if he gets the job, we'll start to see those friendlies popping up. You start to see those challenges popping up. And yeah, again, for England to win titles, we need to be tactically outsmarting these teams. That's our next step. Especially as I said before, we've got the talent, so much talent in that squad. Even after Harry Kane at number 9, so much players that we can pick from. Even in the youth setup, so much wide threat. Anthony Gordon, who I thought was fantastic in both games as well. Again, someone who Southgate should have relied upon in the tournament. Someone that could have given England the much needed balance they needed in the wide areas. Even if you put Trippier at left back, put a winger to stretch the pitch. Put Saka wide right, Anthony Gordon wide left, stretch the pitch, allow Foden and Bellingham to give them the spaces, the room to do what they do in the half spaces, to create chances and all that stuff. Simple things like that, which could have won England the game. Against Spain. Gordon could have provided the threat. Could have given Spain's defense the threat that we needed to take the title. Again, that's something that Carsley we need to fix. That's something that Carsley we need to spot. And I'm sure he has spotted it already. But yeah, again, I see people will say that why didn't we take it was right not picking Rashford and Sterling for the squad, but if we got such talent out there, yeah, they didn't have the best of seasons, but it's as I was saying, as I've been saying to a lot of people after that game, the last time we beat Spain was because we had such a consistent, such a telling wide threat in Rashford and Sterling. That's how you beat Spain. You go at them with your wingers. You go at them in transition. They can't cope. And that's the we have the players to do that. Why not use it? Why not use that? So again, Anthony Gordon was the telling solution that we had in that position. Again, the Southgate didn't use him. And again, that's what Lee Carsley will need to solve. That's what I do feel he will, because he's a big fan of Gordon. He used him as the false 9 in the when England won the under-21 championships last summer. And I do feel Gordon will be a permanent fixture under Carsley if he can keep fit, if he can keep his form up for Newcastle. Again, it's a terrific player for me. Wonderful talent. Just the kind of player we need at wide left. If Sterling and Rashford haven't got some sort of future in the squad for the foreseeable, get Gordon out there. There's other players we can call upon, especially as we've seen in the under-21s. There's so many players that Carsley will certainly be looking upon. There's a lot of names. Jaden Philogene from Aston Villa. You can even use Morgan Rogers there if you want. So much players, so many talent we have. So again, as I said before, does Carsley have that talent? Can he pick the right players to do what England need? And as we saw for Spain, Luis de la Fuentes, all he did was use the players at his disposal in their good right positions, and they cooked. That's it. Lamine Yamal, right wing, Nico Williams, left wing. Simple. He didn't have Pedri and Gavi, but he still had the quality of Rodri, Dani Olmo. Who else was there? Who else was the left centre mid? Yes, Fabian Ruiz. Putting players in their right positions. That's what won Spain the tournament. Not mixing and matching, not trying to test out tactics, put the players in their best positions, and watch them do what they need to do. Exactly what Luis De La Fuentes did, and he reaped his fruits. So again, that's what that's a problem Lee Carsley will need to solve moving forward. But yeah, in summing up, I do think he should get the the um the job. I do think he should be Southgate's successor. Um, I do think he has the tools at his disposal to take the team forward. Um, and whether he's given the job, we don't know. But I hope they're looking his way. I hope it's a bit of continuity, but again, it's a little bit of an upgrade as well in terms of his tactical nous. But again, can he bring the country together like Southgate did? That's another thing that the FA we need to um, test out once they make their decision. Can Lee Carsley bring the country together just like Southgate did? Can he lead a whole nation through tournaments? Can he galvanize the fans, galvanize the players? Yeah. So yeah, that's a huge factor for Carsley. But for me, pick him. For me, appoint him. I think he's the right man. Um, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm liking what I've seen from those two games. I've liked what I've seen from the players he's picked, from the tactics he's tried out. The triangles on the passing, using the 3-1-6, the build up. Using a 3-2-5, even inverting the fullbacks, Rico Lewis and Trent inverting, giving numerical advantage in the middle. Again, can we see these sorts of braveries against Spain, against France, against Holland, against that's what Carsley will need to solve. So, but yeah, in my view, yeah, I do think Carsley is the right man for the job, and give it to him. But yeah, who else? Who else will they be looking at? I've picked out Thomas Tuchel. There's Graham Potter who's without a job right now. I think he'll be decent. If Carsley doesn't get the job. But again, Potter's been out for what, nearly 2 years now, or is it just over a year, or just under 2 years? So can he? Does he still have the tactical nous to take England to that next level? We'll see. But yeah, if he does, when he does come back, I do want him in a club role. But I wouldn't mind it for England, Graham Potter. So, but yeah, for me, Lee Carsley's the man. I think we need to pick him. He's worked in the England under 21s. He knows what talents are needed to take that next step. So he's got the talent ID, as I said before. But yeah, that's settled. That's me. That's me done with that with England. So yeah, moving on. The Premier League's back. Thankfully, thank God, we've got the Champions League and the Europa League returning as well next week. But yeah, some big games, to discuss this weekend. Yeah, we know. City and Liverpool are the teams, the two teams of the with three points from 3 games, and I think they will continue their form heading into this weekend. City, who the City got? City have got Brentford at home. Brentford is never an easy game. With Brentford, you're gonna have to you're working for 3 points. We saw what happened last season when Ivan Toney came up with the 2 goals, but again, Toney's not there. So who Brentford turn to get them the goals to win this game? But yeah, I do think City will go on and win that one. But yeah, they will work. They will have to work for it. Liverpool got Nottingham Forest again. I see 3 points in Liverpool. But as I said in the last podcast, the Premier League's quality, the quality in the Premier League is just increasing and increasing and increasing. You can never outright predict a game. You can Man City, Brentford, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest. Yes, two of the best teams in the league, but it's dangerous predicting how games are going to go. Again, Brentford are so good to watch under Thomas Frank. Solid. When they do have the ball, the bravery to have him when they're playing from the back. You know, Thomas Frank he's got his team tactically set up to beat these kind of teams. I loved when he did an interview. I think it was last season or the season before, where he said that he's got different tactical setups for different teams. So for the big teams, he will pick a 3-man defense, and then try and hit them in the cut. But even at Anfield, we saw them play some possession football. And he did it really well. It's just that last pass in the final third, or just that last finish that they couldn't do. But again, Thomas Frank, one manager who has who can beat the best. Whether that happened this weekend, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Because Young Wissa and Brian and Mbeumo up front, it was impressive duo, fantastic duo. And I've mentioned Liverpool. You go and get Brian and Mbeumo, Mo Salah's replacement. Yeah, that's my replacement. For Mo Salah, Brian and Mbeumo. Wonderful player. He's got everything for me. In the right foot, and he's got everything needed in the right winger. He's got pace. He's excellent in 1v1s. Excellent in transition. With Liverpool with the transitional football that they've showed already. And Mbeumo's one of the best wingers at that. Not on par with Salah, but if you draw up a list of all the best right wingers in the league, you'd have Salah up there, Cole Palmer, but Brian Mbeumo's just beneath. And maybe playing in a big pond can make him a big fish. So Liverpool, Mo Salah's replacement, Brian Mbeumo. He better be at the top of FSG's list. But yeah, that's another top candidate to be Salah's replacement. That's one candidate for Salah's replacement. But yeah, some interesting games coming up this weekend. We've got Southampton United first and foremost at 12:30. It's never an easy thing talking about United right now, especially with our tactical setup, out of possession structure, which unbelievably bad already. Same different season, same problems. And Ten Hag, man. I'm even speechless. I don't even know what to say. But yeah, Southampton will cause us problems. Yes, Southampton haven't had the best of results. Looking at what they've done so far, but the manager, what's his name? What's Southampton's manager's name? Russell Martin. That's it. Yeah. For me, I think he's one of the best young coaches in the country. Again, another manager I look up to in terms of his tactical nous, his tactical quality. Another manager that will be making it to the top very soon. But yeah, again, such as the case with promoted teams, they all have their philosophy. As we saw with Burnley last season with Vincent Kompany, they had their philosophy. The brave and bold positional based football, and then not adapting, not sticking to being stubborn and sticking to their principles no matter what. That can get you in trouble. So yeah, the question for Russell Martin is, can he learn from Burnley's mistakes? We'll see. But yeah, this weekend is a good game for them to right the wrongs of what's happened the first few games of the season. Um, and then going up against a team that is so poor out of possession against United, they've got every chance of picking up 3 points. But yeah, I can't predict and say that United have the quality to better Southampton. I could say that, but I can't. I don't want to because you know you just can't predict outright results in the Premier League. You can't. But yeah, a lot for Ten Hag to ponder. And we've been saying this for over a season now. As I said, different season, same problems, same out of position problems, same positional problems, same defensive problems. We just can't shut teams out. We just can't keep clean sheets. We just or you know we just can't control games. We just can't give our team, give this team the foundation and the base to go on and win consistently. Um, but yeah, I think for me, what Ten Hag needs to target is to have a consistent back four, fit and available. The best ability in football, I've always said, is availability. Get that back four right. If we can have a consistent back four for 30 games out of 38, we'll be fine. Like, for me, for me, in my opinion, if just as we saw 2 seasons ago when we won the Carabao Cup, when we finished third, we had a consistent back four for most of the season. That was the foundation we needed. Um, so yeah, even if it's Luke Shaw when he's fit, again, the best ability in football is availability. Luke Shaw, if he is fit, he will start. Lissandro Martinez, Mateus Delit, or Harry Maguire. Right now, I'm choosing Harry Maguire. And against Southampton, I want Harry Maguire in there. I want Harry Maguire as Lissandro Martinez's partner because we saw a few mistakes from Delit for Holland in the international break, but even if that didn't happen, I don't think the lit is ready to start consistently yet. I think as the season progresses, he'll be getting more games with the Europa League, with the domestic cups coming up as the Carabao Cup coming up. There will be a chance for Ten Hag to rotate and test out new players that are on the fringes. But yeah, for me, I don't think the lit is ready to be starting consistently for us. As we saw against Liverpool, he's still a bit rash. He's still decision making is here, there, and everywhere. We need a steady head in there. Harry Maguire is perfect. Um, Again, as I said before in the last episode, I don't get the discord around Harry Maguire. I think he's quality. Um, I think he's a top-notch defender. Yes, he's not pleasing on the eye. He doesn't have the intricacies as a Van Dijk or a Ruben Diaz or he's a steady head. For what he can do, for what he offers, for what Ten Hag needs right now, Harry Maguire is it. And I think he should be Lissandro Martinez's partner for the foreseeable future. And then again, so yeah, if we have a steady back four in front of Andre Onana, I think we'll be fine. But we'll see. Such has been the case of the past year. United's injuries have been terrible. We've just seen Mason Mount being hit with injury. Still no Lenny. Quality signing Lenny Yoro was, but he's out until November at least. We don't know when Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia are back. Hopefully after the next international break. Hopefully. Who else? Rasmus Højlund. Hopefully he's back before the next international break. Hopefully. I'm praying on that. But yeah, we need a consistent XI. Ten Hag needs a consistent XI. He needs an XI where he can look at it and think, okay, yes, this is my 11. This is the foundation that we need. Um, um, but again, it's the out of possession structure that needs to be fixed. We saw against Liverpool how they tore us apart when they won the ball back. Nothing we could do. And Casemiro lost cause, man. Lost cause. Yeah, I'm speechless. I did say over the summer that he needs to be replaced. We haven't replaced him. As I said, Ugarte he's a good player, but he's not a Casemiro replacement. He can't hold the line. You can't hold this number 6 position. Um, um, like he can't do what we need in that number 6 position. Someone that can keep the ball, control games, take the chaos out of games, take the sting out of games. Yes, Ten Hag wants us to be attacking. He wants us to be free flowing. He wants us to be chaotic. He wants us to be high intensity. But you need a steady head at number 6. You need control in there. Um, Casemiro, he's lost his legs. He never was that type of player anyway. Um, I would have thought we would have got a short term stopgap. Really would have re-signed Amrabat. Would have tried and got a cheap option. There's a lot of quality cheap number 6s out there. Angelo Stiller from Stuttgart. Um, there's another one from Hoffenheim. Anton Stack. These type of number 6s that can control games, that can take the ball on the back foot, take it on the half turn. Can weave the way out of pressure, can pass the way out of pressure. That's what we need right now. Someone that can you know provide the forwards with the passes and the, how can I put it, that can control the way the way the game is flowing. If things are going against United, we're on the back foot. Someone can just take the game and literally calm things down. That's what we need. Um, yeah, can Menu's not that. He's not that foundational player. He's someone that you build around him, but he's not the foundational player that we need to kick things off in the middle. Again, Ugarte, quality player in my opinion. Unbelievable for what Ten Hag wants in terms of press resistance. Not press, sorry, counter pressing, aggressive pressing. High intensity. Ugarte is that man, but I still think if he is the number 6 that Ten Hag is intending to use, I still think we'll see the same problems. But yeah, how we're gonna go about this season with these issues, I do not know. I cannot predict United games right now. If anyone asks me what do I think the score is for this weekend against Southampton, I don't know. I can't predict it. Will I be watching it? Hopefully. But yeah, we need 3 points. How we're gonna get that, I don't know. But yeah, tough game we've got. Tough game. What else? Yeah, there's some more. Brighton against Ipswich. Yeah, that's a good game for Brighton. I think they could grab 3 points there, but Ipswich. I do think I do remember mentioning Kieran McKenna in the last episode. I you know quality coach, one for fans to be taking a look at, neutrals to be taking a look at. United waiting for him. United were linked with him to possibly replace Ten Hag if he left. And to be honest, I would not have had a problem with Kieran McKenna at all. Excellent manager, excellent coach. Wonderful. The way he's taken Ipswich over the past few seasons. from League One, Championship, Premier League. The first time I'm asking each time. Um, but yeah, it's not just the fact that he's achieved those feats, but he's the way he's done it, the style of football he's played, the style of football he's stuck to, the style of football that he's adapted to, the style of football that he's improved over the seasons. But yeah, the next step now for him is can he now, adapt his style in the Premier League, but also change things when Ipswich are, when Ipswich aren't winning games, when Ipswich aren't scoring goals? Can he make them solid enough to drag out points that could be crucial come the end of the season? But yeah, I did predict Ipswich to stay up, to be the team that got promoted to stay up. So hopefully I'm right. But yeah, Kieran McKenna and one manager to take a look at. Brighton were in for him before they appointed Fabian Hertzler. So that's a good subplot for that game. But yeah, I do think Brighton will be too strong on the day. The signings they've made this summer, unbelievable. Um, but yeah, Fabian Hertzler, terrific start he's got on the um for Brighton. I thought they were excellent against Arsenal at the Emirates. Um, and by the way, Declan Rice's red card was a red card. And I know there's been a lot of argument. Should he have been? He should. I think it was silly for him. It was silly from him. Experienced player like that, you don't get yourself. Don't get yourself in those situations. If a player's making trouble like that, just walk away. Just walk away. You could save your team a whole lot of stress, a whole lot of palaver if you just walk away. He didn't, and he got in trouble. Whether he deserves a red card or not, don't put yourself in that position. And especially for an experienced player like him, who's reached finals, he played at the top level for how long now? Don't get yourself in those situations. But yeah, other than that, I thought Brighton were excellent in that game, just as they have been at the start of the season. They were brave, they were bold in possession. They played Arsenal at their game, and managed to come away with a point. Which I thought, yeah, as I said before, I thought they were impressive in that game. They possibly should have won. They should have grabbed the 3 points. With Arsenal going down to 10 men, they should have won. But yeah, Arsenal should have won either, because they, even at 10 men, they still had chances. But yeah, top. Yeah, I think Brighton should add to their 3 points. Add to their tally. Impressive tally so far this season. 7 points. I think they'll grab the 3 points against Ipswich. Palace v Leicester, another good match. Yeah, everyone will be tipping Leicester to get relegated. With Steve Cooper at the helm, but don't write off Steve Cooper at your own peril. They've just escaped the PSR breach, so they're no longer getting the points deduction. And again, that could be a huge boost from now until the end of the season. You never know. Leicester could be the ones to stay up instead of Ipswich. But yeah, right off Steve Cooper at your own peril. I think he's another quality coach. A coach who I would have tipped to be England manager one day. But yeah, I do think Leicester will be there and thereabouts when it comes to just outside of the relegation zone, or even much higher if he can get his team gelling together properly. He did have a few concerns regarding the transfer window. In his latest interview, he's talked about the PSR being a distraction, and maybe that being a fault for not getting him more players. But I think the signings they made already, players like Bilal El Khanous, quality player, one player to look out for this season. They've got quality players already in the Arsenal. Mavididi, they signed Buonanotte from Brighton, quality player again. Of course, they got Jamie Vardy. If they can keep him fit, for at least 25 games out of 38. If they're getting fit and scoring goals, who knows, But again, the main thing Steve Cooper will be looking for is getting Leicester solid, compact, just as he did at Forest, when he kept them up 2 seasons ago, you know, or when he kept them up, when he kept them up 2 seasons ago before he got sacked last season. It kept Forest solid. They were lightning quick and rapid, decisive on the counter attack. So if he can do that, keep that same format, those same principles at Leicester City, but again with some cutting edge up front. Start Mavididi instead of Jordan Ayew on that left hand side. I don't know why. I don't know what it is with Palace and Leicester starting Jordan Ayew consistently. Like when you've got other quality players around you, players that can do better consistently for you. Mavididi needs to be a star. As we saw against Tottenham when he came on, made a telling difference. Quality player Mavididi is one excellent 1v1 threat. Off the ball movement is brilliant. He's got an eye for a pass. He can find the net as well. Play your best players. If you're a team like Leicester, Ipswich, if you're a team like Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton, play your best players, play your most seasoned players, play your experienced players that have been in and around the team, for a while, players that can get you over the line, and that's what Steve Cooper we need to be mindful of. But yeah, Crystal Palace and Leicester, I probably will go for a home win. But again, as is the Premier League, you just can't predict. You just can't straight out predict. But yeah, I do think Leicester will give Palace a game. Big fan of Palace's manager. What's his? My mind has been going blank. Of Oliver Glasner. Big fan of his. With his free his free man defensive system. Is people will look at his tactic and think, oh, it's reserved, it's reactive. No, it's not. If you look at it, look at the details of it, the way they bring the ball out the back as well, the way they they press from the front. They got Mateta and that providing the energy and thrust up front. Palace will be an outside bet for you. The Europa Conference League spots, in my opinion. If they can keep their best players fit, if they can keep Eze for just over 25 games, over 25 games out of 38, keep him fit, because he's another player that can get injured too easily. But yeah, if they keep him fit, keep him fit alongside as Mateta, Adam Wharton in that midfield. That's one player I dream of for United. One player, if you can get him next season. But yeah, Adam Wharton, wonderful player, wonderful talent. Mark Gay, they managed to keep Mark Gay after the transfer window. I think that's Palace's best piece of business this summer, keeping Mark Gay. But yeah, they lost Declan Anderson, but they replaced him brilliantly. They've signed Trevor Chalobah from Chelsea, who, again, one of the most underrated centre backs in the league, in my opinion. Fantastic, athletic, strong, has a real presence. He's technically gifted. He's deceptively technical. People could look at him and say he's just big for nothing, but he is good on the ball. He offers Palace a chance to be solid at the back. That 3-man defensive setup, he'd be perfect for it as that RCB. Defending the wide channels. Excellent. He's excellent at 1v1 up against attackers. Strong. Can cover the. He's quick on the ground. Excellent recovery pace. But also, you can bring the ball out of the fence as what Glasner expects of his players. So yeah, if again, if Palace can keep can get their consistent team up and running, I think they'll be a force to be reckoned with. Another Maxence Lacroix. He's one player I looked at for my Anthony Scouts um, talents, pool of young talents a few years ago. Did take a hit at Wolfsburg with injuries, but if Glasner can get him fit and firing, why he could turn out to be an excellent pick, excellent get from Wolfsburg. But yeah, Palace and Leicester, I'm going for a home win on just. Fulham West Ham. That's another tight game. Again, if you've seen the business that West Ham have done over the summer, the amount of money they've spent, the manager they've got at the helm in Lopetegui, the quality on the pitch already, even before the signings they've made, they should win this one. But as we saw last season, Fulham played them off the park with a 5-0 win last season, which I thought was impressive. But I don't think will be happening again this time round. But we'll see. I do think West Ham will probably have too much. This time around, but you never know. Again, Fulham are very strong at Craven Cottage, and if again, Marcus Silva's made some really good signings. Emil Smith Rowe, Jorge Cuenca, what else they picked up? Also, they picked up Emil Smith Rowe, Cuenca. I can remember. Some of those. There's a few more that I thought was impressive for Fulham. Just trying to remind myself of them. Reece Nelson from Arsenal, who I thought was a really good signing. Especially because I did feel they needed more wingers, more attackers last season. So that's a position that they've strengthened. Sander Burge from Southampton. I mean, from Sheffield United. That's another top signing, especially with João Paulinho gone. They do need another big presence in midfield, and they've done that. So that's quality business. But yeah, Fulham, West Ham. Yeah, I do think West Ham will probably have too much. I'm going for a 2-1 West Ham. Yeah, tough game. Liverpool Forest. I'm going for 3-0 Liverpool. As I said before, again, I can't properly. You can't. You afford to be confident in to have confidence in your prediction in the Premier League, but we'll see. But yeah, I think Liverpool will topple Forest. City will beat Brentford. Aston Villa Everton. That's a good game. Everton. I don't know what's been going on with them. I thought they were excellent. As you may have saw against Bournemouth, they were excellent for 85 minutes. Arguably one of the best performances under Sean Dyche. Top of the Bournemouth in all aspects tactically. They were troublesome in attack. They were expansive and threatening. Dominic Calvert-Lewin looking his old self again. But then they lost. Yeah, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and Everton just capitulated last 5 minutes. I do not know what happened, but yeah, the way Bournemouth came back, Sean Dyche should have been absolutely livid. I would not want to be even a fly on the wall in that one, but But yeah, difficult for Everton against Villa at Villa Park. Who Unai Emery, impressive manager, impressive what he's done so far at Villa. They'll be playing Champions League football next week, so it'll be interesting to see how they balance out Premier League and Champions League football for the first time. But yeah, if there's one manager that can do it for not top four club, it's Unai Emery. So don't write off Villa for top four this season again. But yeah, for this game, I'm gonna go for a home win. Bournemouth versus Chelsea, another tough game, another tight game. I have a feeling Bournemouth will nick this one. I have a feeling Bournemouth will nick it. Andoni Iraola is an impressive coach, another manager who can't be written off. But I do think Bournemouth will nick this one. Again, Maresca, quality coach. Again, another manager I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of every manager in the Premier League. The way things are going right now. But it just goes to show the quality of the Premier League. So many quality managers. Every even one of some of the small teams have quality managers. Just goes to show the quality of the Premier League. But yeah, Enzo Maresca, brilliant coach as we saw for Leicester last season. If he can, if he needs a consistent XI. He needs a team where he's going to rely on all season. The first 11 or the first 14, 15 players, the core. Because the way the squad at Chelsea is right now, you don't know who's going to be. You don't know what Chelsea's first XI is going to be right now. You could probably pick a few players: Madueke, Palmer, Jackson. Who's going to be in left wing now that the Sancho? Who's going to be in midfield? Is it Caicedo? Is it Lavia? Is it Enzo Fernandez? Is it you just don't know. Who's going to be a centre back? Who's going to be a right back? Gusto, Reece James still to come back from injury. Who's going to be a left back? Who's in goal? Who's Chelsea going to rely on in goal? For 38 games. So yeah, again, I think the uncertainty again will stop Chelsea progressing in this game. But this could be a high scoring game. Probably it could be a 3-2. It could be a Bournemouth 3-2. But I have a strange feeling Bournemouth will nick this one. Let's see. But yeah, big game on Sunday. No way I could get past this pod without speaking about Tottenham and Arsenal on Sunday. As we've seen over the news already about Arsenal losing key players. Mikel Marino's already out, but Martin Odegaard now injured. Declan Rice suspended after his red card against Brighton. To be honest, I don't think Arsenal will be heavily impacted as people would expect. I do expect Arteta to go with a two-man midfield with Jorginho and Partey just to shore things up a bit. People say Jorginho hasn't got the legs, but in terms of controlling the game, when Tottenham are on top and taking this thing out of things, Jorginho is arguably one of the best at that in the Premier League. But yeah, him and Partey midfield. They still got Trossard. They still got Jesus. They still got Saka, Havertz. Who knows? He could even put Ethan Nwaneri there as the advanced 8 in the Odegaard's position. If Arsenal want to continue their traditions, why not replace Odegaard for the time being with Nwaneri? If there's one youth player in the setup that's ready for first team football consistently, it's him. He's got the talent, he's got the skill, he's got the technical acumen. to thrive in a role. He can work with Saka perfectly. Why not throw him in, Arteta? But yes, I still think Arsenal have a lot in their tank. Defensively, you know, as I've always said of Arsenal, if you've got a solid defense, a solid base to build on from, you're going to be fine. That's Arsenal. You won't. There's never a doubt of you losing games. Um, you know, not based off on on quality. You always feel Arsenal are always going to be in games, even when they're not playing well, because they're so defensively good. With Gabriel Saliba at the back, trying out Duran Timber at left back these days. Just quality. Ben White right back, quality. You know, again, at, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, do I see Arsenal losing? I don't think so, because they're so defensively good. Yeah, they don't have the Rice and Odegaard, but still. But yeah, so it's. I don't know how to call this one. But again, as I said, I don't see Arsenal losing. I'll probably go for a draw or Arsenal to nick it. But yeah, Tottenham. As you probably may guess, I'm a big fan of Postecoglou. As I said, I'm a big fan of every manager in the Premier League. Every one of these managers are top. But yeah, Postecoglou, I'm a big fan of. I still think there's a bit of doubt with Tottenham's structure at times. They can be a bit too loose, lack control, especially when they're on the back foot. If you overwhelm Tottenham, you could breach them easily. I think that's my problem with them, and I think if Postecoglou can't fix that, then I don't see Tottenham moving forward. But yeah, I don't think Tottenham will win this. I don't think Tottenham will win this. I don't know who to go for. I don't need to predict, but I'll probably go a score. I'll probably see a score draw. If Arsenal had Odegaard and Declan Rice, I would have tipped them to win it, like they did last season. But just because of those two missing players, I still think Arsenal will be all right, but just not at their expectations of going to Tottenham and winning. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, excited for that game. Really excited. Excellent game to get the Premier League back in full motion after the international break. Wolves, Newcastle United. Again, I'm a big fan of both managers, Gary O'Neill and Eddie Howe. Newcastle, not the best of transfer windows they had, but still, they've got quality in there. Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Isaac, Gordon. For me, Newcastle, that right wing needs to be improved. I don't think they can get into the Champions League places with Jacob Murphy and Mikel Almiron. As I said in the previous episode, Yakuba Minte, they should have kept him. Selling him to Brighton was a big mistake, in my opinion. I think he was the player that could have transformed Eddie Howe's game at St James's Park. I just don't see Newcastle improving on 2 seasons ago with Jacob Murphy and Mikel Almiron on the right wing. I don't think they're quality enough. I don't think they have that X factor to complement Isaac and Gordon. I think they'll be excellent stopgaps for what they are in the short term. They'll provide assists and goals here and there, but to be that consistent threat, to be that X factor, to be that player that can possibly go to the Etihad, Emirates, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Old Trafford, and picking up 3 points for them, I don't see that. I think that's what Newcastle needs to take that next step. If they want to be Champions League team consistently, I think they need to fix that right wing, or they improve it. But yeah, Wolves, Newcastle, I think that's going to be a score draw. but Wolves, the Wolves have been a bit too you know, they haven't picked themselves up yet this season. They haven't found their mojo yet this season. But again, when you have Cunha, a player's quality is Cunha up front, you know, you just can't. You're always gonna be a threat to teams like Newcastle. But yeah, I'll probably go with Newcastle to scrape this one. But yeah, in some interesting games this weekend. And another big news to touch upon: Mikel Arteta signing a new contract at Arsenal. Fantastic news for Arsenal fans. For me, um, no, it's well deserved. Uh, even before he stepped into the shoes at Arsenal, I thought it was a top coach. I thought it was gonna go places. Yeah, he hasn't won the Premier League yet, or he's only just got a major trophy to his belt at Arsenal, but Arsenal are building something. For me, for me as a fan who looks for progress rather than trophies, Arteta, I think Arteta's done a fantastic job, top job. I still think, even despite Arsenal falling short of City, um, Arteta deserved the new contracts. He deserved the new deal, and it was only right Arsenal have awarded him that new contract. But yeah, he's. I don't see a better candidate to take Arsenal forward. I don't see a better candidate to topple City than Arteta right now. Yeah, so that's an excellent decision from Arsenal. Again, as I've mentioned in the first episode, that number 9. Can Arsenal topple City with Havertz? Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, where Arsenal were to where they are now, I'm not gonna say I expected it, but the quality that Arteta has, it was always going to be the case. The quality of coaching, Arteta, the attention for detail, is tactical quality and nous and um, when a coach when you want a pedantic coach like him, a manager who has an eye for the details, you can pick the little things and make it fine tune it, as he's done progressively each season at Arsenal. But yeah, can he now, just like I mentioned with Southgate for England, can he now find that X factor, find that last ingredient to take Arsenal past City? With his current squad, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, excellent news for Arsenal. All round, Arteta signing a new deal. I think it's well deserved. I think it's a no-brainer for us to continue their progression. But yeah, some excellent games we've seen. Excellent games we'll see this weekend. But yeah, let's see how this goes. Glad the Premier League is back. Glad to see the back of the international break for a few weeks. It's going to be back in mid-October again, but let's enjoy it for what it is. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for being patient with me on this second episode of Anthony Scouts. I do have a new piece coming out next week regarding a new talent that I've been keeping an eye on for a while now. He's playing his football in Austria, and he is under new management under a certain former Liverpool assistant coach. I'll let you try and guess who that is, but yeah, he is playing in Austria. He is playing under a former Liverpool, a former assistant coach at Liverpool, and yeah, that's what I'll give you. But yeah, top talent, and that piece will be dropping hopefully next week. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for being patient with me in this second episode of Anthony Scouts. I'm out.